What's good? What's good? What's good, beautiful people? Good dot back again, once again. Let's lock in. Shout out to the IPA. Good dot's good book, merch, all that good stuff. Links in the description area below. I don't know about you guys, but I'm bringing this conversation to the table knowing that I kind of have a genuine idea of about how many people feel more positive about this than negative, but I think it's worth the conversation. I'm under the assumption, and I'm one of those types of guys that believes the trade-off abroad or a trade-off for a life overseas is far better than the trade-off of just staying stagnant in one's Western country. In other words, I believe that living abroad is probably likely better than staying in the same city wherever you're particularly from within your Western country. Now, let's talk about what's really going on, right? I believe that a life overseas is very cyclical, right? It runs in cycles, it runs in circles. That's just me, right? You have a series of booms, a series of busts, right? It happens, right? We've all gone through the situations where, maybe you've dealt with a girl, just as an example, goes good and then shit goes south very fast, right? You might deal with multiple women, might have issues here, you might have issues there. You may go to your favorite Starbucks, somebody messes up your drink. You may have to deal with not having certain items available to you in certain foreign countries, and you're just frustrated and you're just mad and you're just angry. But I think that if you honestly sit down and you analyze and you look at yourself where you are currently, whether that be overseas or in the United States, or you've had a chance to go overseas, but you're back in your home country as we speak. If you think about the life that you created for yourself overseas for however long you were there, and you compare it to the life where you are in your specific home country, whatever Western part of the world it is, I think that if you sit down and do a deep dive, you'll probably come to the conclusion that the trade-off overseas is far better than the trade-off of staying stagnant and staying still, right? Or moving amongst your particular country. I think that you can probably say when you're overseas, you probably miss your favorite foods, right? Oh man, for me, it was biscuits and gravy. That was my jam. Like, just good old-fashioned biscuits and gravy. I'm a fat kid. Just get over it. That was one thing that I couldn't get in the Philippines. Bless my young lady's soul. I don't want to dime her out because it's not fair to her. But she tried on multiple occasions to make biscuits, and it just didn't hit the same, right? We go to the S&R in Philippines. Shout out to everybody who knows what S&R is. Big box store, buy the Crisco and all of the ingredients that you would need to make some good old-fashioned biscuits. I think we were lacking buttermilk. I don't know what it was. It just didn't turn out right. I ate them. It was still good, but it was not the same. Right? Just couldn't find like your favorite foods overseas, or maybe the service isn't what you think it's supposed to be, or the access to certain things isn't what it's supposed to be. And you're finding yourself dealing with people that may struggle to understand what it is that you're actually requesting. I mean, there's a plethora of things that could possibly egg you or annoy you while you're overseas. But if you think about the cost of living, Philippines more specifically, and other Asian countries, maybe even Brazil as well. Shout out to the DR and all y'all. Cost of living and peace of mind, or peace and tranquility that you're likely to get in foreign countries, you'll realize that those top three things are damn near the only thing most of us men need when it comes to determining whether the trade-off is really worth it or not. Again, a lot of people believe it's about the women. Oh my God, man, the women are so this, the women are so that. That is a plus. I'm not gonna lie to you. That really does help feed a lot of guys' decisions, right? In their decision-making process, women is probably within the first 2 or 3 things that you put on your list as far as the pros. But at the same time, I believe cost of living, right? Quality of life is the word that I was looking for. Peace and tranquility, quality of life, all falls in the same thing. Those 2 things alone, for the majority of us, is pretty much all we need in order to make the decision about the trade-off overseas versus, living in your own home country. Now, we've talked about this a lot, and I think that the same rules could apply in many of the foreign countries that a lot of guys go to, Latin America, South America as well. But the idea of adapting to the culture, becoming like the locals, I believe that a lot of foreigners who have adopted that particular mentality have come to find that this shit is far easier than they probably expected when it came to transitioning and adopting new ways or adapting to the country in which they're in, right? And once you figure out how to become one with wherever you are, doesn't matter where you are, that goes back into that peace and tranquility. That goes back into that quality of life. You'll realize, man, why didn't I do this earlier? Or why did I fight so hard to stay somewhere where, maybe you did or did not feel wanted, right? There's a plethora of reasons why I would never, talk down about where I'm from, because I love it, right? I'll tell you straight up, and I say it time and time again, a lot of people believe that because I would choose a life of travel and doing all that other shit, as opposed to just staying in the United States, I would choose to retire abroad. A lot of people think, oh, you're an un-American, or you don't like America, you should go back to Africa. The motherfuckers gonna say what they gonna say, right? But they fail to realize that you can call America the land of opportunity, and I agree with that statement 100%, because that blue passport that many of us have attained throughout our life is giving us the opportunity to go places that we would have otherwise never gone. I'll say that one more time for all of my gentlemen in the nosebleeds. That little blue passport that a lot of us carry, not necessarily just for identification purposes, have found that has given us an opportunity to see parts of the world that we've otherwise probably would have never seen or even thought to locate or look for. So if you're not taking advantage of that, I don't know what to tell you. I can't tell you what to do with your life. I can't tell you what works, and my phone's going off. Just bear with me. I don't have time to reach over and turn it off. At the same time, y'all don't know what y'all missing if y'all haven't chosen to utilize that passport for any reason, right? For any occasion. Again, it's more than just an identification or a form of ID. It's meaningful. And the only way you're going to build memories and experiences and shit is putting a couple stamps in that thing. Okay? And you ain't got to travel like a lot of other guys. You'll see a lot of guys traveling to, 20, 30, 40 different countries and shit just to, accumulate a bunch of experiences. And that's dope. But you may be that type of person that went to one location and said, you know what? This is it for me. Right? I like this. I can fuck with this for a long period of time. I can see myself retiring here. I can see myself doing things here. All right? And, it's not so much you committing yourself or calling yourself a part of a particular travel community or not, but the minute you step foot outside of the United States, you are officially a part of the travel community, whatever travel community you identify with. So when you think about the trade-off, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna leave you with this. When you think about your trade-offs, I want you to understand something. Is it really worth it? Everything that you can accumulate or have in your own home country, is it really worth it to you to stay there, to hold on to whatever it is that you're trying to hold on to? That's my question to anybody who chooses not to travel. Is it really worth it to you to hold on to the things that you have accumulated or trying to accumulate in your own home country to keep yourself from going overseas? You hear about all the positive results and all the positive effects and, the positive emotions that a lot of these guys feel about traveling. And for the most part, with all due respect, a lot of guys are just living these miserable ass lives, in their own home countries. And they're not even giving themselves an opportunity to say, hey, man, you know what? Let's go here real quick. Let me just try it, man. I hear too many people talk about it. Let's see what this is about. They never do it. And it baffles me because I'm going to leave you with this tidbit. I promise you. This is the last thing I'm going to say. I've said it before and I'm going to say it again. There's one thing that a lot of people don't take into consideration when it comes to being a part of the travel community and or being a part of Passport Bros, whatever you want to call it. If it does not work out for you, on the odd chance that you travel to a couple of places and you completely bombed, didn't work out for you at all, everything just went to shit, right? On the odd chance that does happen everywhere that you go, guess what? You can always go back home. One more time. If it don't work out abroad, you can always go back home. There is nothing to say that you can't go back to the United States if a life overseas isn't for you, right? So at the same time, I'm gonna look at you and say, why not give it a chance, man? Why not try it when you know, not necessarily a safety net, but you have a passport that can bring you back home anytime you damn well please, if you choose to do so. Riddle me that, Batman. Riddle me that. Ladies and gentlemen, that's my time, effort, and energy. Appreciate y'all locking in, man. It's been a good doc. Y'all take care. Y'all stay blessed, man. Doc is out. Peace.